Coming up on AC 24/7, former President Donald Trump indicted on fraud charges. We'll take a look at what will happen next and if Trump could accept a plea deal. Plus, the calls for gun reform are growing after Nashville, but how Republican and Democrat lawmakers in Washington responding? We'll take a look. And renewed tension between the US and Russia. What we're learning about the American journalist detained in Russia and efforts to bring him home. Hey there, welcome to AC 24/7. I'm your host, Lamar Baldwin. Former President Donald Trump was initially asked to surrender Friday, according to Trump's lawyer, but he said more time was needed for the Secret Service detail to prepare. The Advocate Channel's Mike Valerio is in New York with preps for Tuesday's surrender and the security rehearsal that's in motion.
Will we be hearing from you today?
Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg arriving to work Friday morning under heavy security. Law enforcement sources say Bragg's office will meet with the Secret Service and New York City Police on Friday.
The walkthrough today is to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Court officers, NYPD, and the Secret Service detail that protects Donald Trump still.
Trump denies any wrongdoing and took to Truth Social Friday, calling the case a witch hunt. Donald Trump's lawyer is preparing for a voluntary surrender and arraignment Tuesday.
We'll go in there and we'll proceed to see a judge at some point, plead not guilty, start talking about filing motions, which we will do immediately.
Some supporters gathered Friday outside of Trump's Mar-a-Lago, Florida home. That state's governor, Ron DeSantis, saying Thursday he won't assist authorities if it comes down to an extradition.
Well done, Governor DeSantis. This is a battleground issue for so many individuals.
This is nothing short of a political prosecution being affected by a Manhattan DA who literally campaigned on bringing charges against one particular American.
Everyone who's out there talking about this being a political case or a witch hunt are going to be sorry when they actually read the substance of what these prosecutors have developed in several criminal charges.
President Joe Biden steering clear of it all for now.
I'm not going to talk about something.
In New York, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Republican Senator J.D. Vance is pushing to make English the official language of the United States. The Ohio GOP representative is introducing the English Language Unity Act. If passed, it will make a universal English language standard to U.S. naturalized requirements. The act will also require government functions to be held in English. According to Vance's press release, 31 out of 50 U.S. states have already made English their official language. The legislation would not apply to communications necessarily for national security, trade, tourism, or health and safety matters, among other things, nor would it impact the census or criminal victims' rights. A new study is showing most states in the U.S. are receiving failing grades when it comes to gun laws. The Giffords Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence looked at gun death rates in 2021. 9 out of the top 10 states for gun deaths got failing grades. Indiana and Ohio, 2 states that failed in 2023 scorecard, both passed permitless carry laws. The key takeaway of the study showed more permissive gun laws equal more gun deaths. Multiple states, including Tennessee, are moving towards making gun laws more lax. Meanwhile, in Washington, as the White House and Democratic lawmakers are pushing for gun safety legislation, many Republicans are not interested in taking steps in that direction. The Advocate Channel's John Lawrence reports.
It's heartbreaking every time. It doesn't get any easier.
Gun safety advocates rallied outside of the Tennessee state capitol Thursday, still shaken by the school shooting earlier this week, where 3 adults and 3 children were killed.
Extreme MAGA Republicans should either join House Democrats in confronting the gun violence epidemic in America or get out of the way. It's that simple.
President Biden has repeatedly called on Congress to take action, including an assault weapons ban, but he's facing an uphill battle.
Republicans owe answers to the American people about why they won't protect our kids.
The GOP is in control of the House, and the chance of substantial gun legislation being passed through is slim to none. Some Republicans say Biden is trying to undermine the Second Amendment.
He's got no solutions to the problem. He's trying to politicize it, and he's trying to undermine the constitutional right of law-abiding citizens, and it's not going to happen.
And others say going after guns isn't the way to address mass shootings.
The problem that we are today, it's not just going to be a legislation. We've got to have a severe conversation here with this country. We've got to deal with mental illness.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Top U.S. officials are condemning Russia for detaining an American reporter. Russia is accusing the correspondent based in Moscow of spying and trying to obtain state secrets. The Advocate Channel's Red Binion has a closer look at that and the travel warning from Washington.
For the first time since the Cold War, Russia has detained an American journalist on accusations of spying. Evan Jurkovich, an American reporter for the Wall Street Journal based in Moscow, is now in custody, accused by Russian authorities of trying to obtain state secrets. Some U.S. lawmakers are accusing Moscow of using the reporter's arrest as leverage and are dismissing the accusations.
The charge of espionage is ridiculous. We cannot, that is not accurate. And we find that incredibly ridiculous.
On Thursday, the State Department advised Americans against traveling to the country.
It is not safe for U.S. citizens to be in the Russian Federation. Any U.S. citizen residing or traveling in Russia should depart immediately.
The Wall Street Journal is categorically denying the spying claims, saying they're deeply concerned for his safety and are working to secure his release.
This is very typical Russia behavior, and that is to grab Americans, use them as leverage, in this case, a reporter.
A Russian court said Jurkovich would be held until May 29th. The arrest comes a week after U.S. authorities arrested this man, Sergei Vladimirovich Cherkasov, who they accused of being a Russian spy and who was indicted in federal court. But Moscow declined to answer when asked if Cherkovich's detention was in retaliation. This comes amid rising tensions between the U.S. and Russia since President Vladimir Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine last year.
We are in very dangerous territory with him. This is all about leverage. And so now we have a human life in the balance.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
A Utah jury found actress Gwyneth Paltrow not at fault for a 2016 ski collision. Retired optometrist Terry Sanderson sued Paltrow over injuries he suffered when the two collided at the Deer Valley Resort in Park City, Utah. Paltrow argued that Sanderson skied into her. The civil trial jury deliberated for a little over 2 hours before returning their verdict, which was read out loud in court.
Was Gwyneth Paltrow at fault? No. Was Gwyneth Paltrow's fault a cause of Terry Sanderson's harm? Oh, skip that.
There's just no response there.
Okay. Was Terry Sanderson at fault? Yes. Was Terry Sanderson's fault a cause Gwyneth Paltrow's? Did Terry Sanderson's fault cause Gwyneth Paltrow's harm? Yes. Comparative fault. What percent of the fault do you assign to Terry Sanderson? 100%. Damages. What amount fairly compensates Gwyneth Paltrow for economic damages? $1. Nice. Signed March 30th, 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more content that advocates to you, go to advocatechannel.com and make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Lamont Baldwin.